5 turbines, same exact design, 5 completely different ways of making it. One of them costs 10 times more than the other 4 combined. One of them I can print at home, so I did the only sensible thing. I spun them up until they exploded. So let's find out which one actually survives. Same turbine geometry, the one I made for a line leader, made in 5 completely different ways. I print this one at home in PLA. This is MJF nylon. These two are SLA resin in 2 different grades. And this one is CNC machined aluminum. This motor has run line leader for a while now. It's worn out. So I bought a proper one to push these turbines to the limit. A 2207 on up to 4S. The plan is simple. First, each turbine at the same RPM to see how hard each one pulls, then I crank it up and try to destroy all of them. The only reason this whole video exists is 4 of these turbines came from JLC, who sponsored this video. This one, the aluminum, was CNC machined by jlccnc. The resins and the nylon came from their 3D printing side, JLC 3DP. CNC and 3D printing all under one roof. I sent jlccnc my files for the metal one, and it came out exactly how I designed it. Multi-axis precision, no hidden setup fees, and one of prototypes are completely fine. And new users get $123 in coupons to start at JLC. Good for a CNC or a 3D print, with parts from $1. Links in the description. So let's start with the one I know best. This is the PLA turbine I've been running on line leader since the very beginning. The wall finish is genuinely good, really smooth where it matters. The one problem is stringing, and this is already after I hit it with a hot air gun. This is fully post-processed. I cannot get it cleaner without damaging it, but it feels solid. PLA is stiff and you feel that the second you pick it up. And the part I love about it is that even though it printed on a 0.4mm nozzle, the width of the blade at the beginning of it is exactly 0.4mm. Single nozzle width, kinda impressive. Next, MJF nylon. And you can see it instantly. The surface is rough. Honestly, it kind of looks like a dog's nose. And it is the complete opposite of the PLA. The blades are soft and I can bend them with barely any effort. It does not feel sturdy at all. But I will give it one thing. It's unique. Now, the SLA H228 resin. The first thing you notice is that it feels brittle. That classic resin feel. But the detail is on a different level. Zero stringing, the walls are basically perfect, and it comes out glossy straight off the printer, which is wild. It is more precise than PLA, more rigid, and it just looks more professional. And the color? This is raw resin, nothing painted or sanded. It looks like bone, but with a bit of green, like kind of lime tint. I love it. This one, the 9000 HE, might actually be my favorite of the whole lineup. It is red and it's actually painted, glossy the whole way around, and that paint gives it this incredibly smooth professional finish. The color is stunning, and with resin detail this sharp underneath, it looks unreal. But here's my prediction, because that paint could go 2 different ways. A smooth surface like this one could technically push the air more efficiently. However, I also am aware of the fact that you cannot really spray paint this perfectly. So my guess is that it could be out of balance, especially at the 21,000 RPM. And as you may have already caught on my other videos, the vibrations are what kills the turbine. And then there's aluminum, the expensive one. It is by far the shiniest. It reflects light like a solid piece of metal, because it is one. It is genuinely beautiful. You feel the weight the moment you pick it up. This feels like an actual consumer grade part. Every edge is sharp. The threads, the blades, even the edges. The precision is just insane. The finish is basically perfect. The only place you can see the machining is between the blades, because sanding in there is pretty much impossible. And it's stiff, like properly stiff. It's aluminum, like it doesn't bend at all. The only flaw, and quite a big one, is it's heavy. And you'll see how heavy in a bit. Alright, now predictions. Looking at all 5 together, I think the one that is probably not going to win would have to be the nylon. And there's 2 reasons for that. First of all, the surface finish is just rough compared to other turbines. And secondly, it's just not stiff enough. If I had to call a winner, it would probably have to be the aluminum. The surface finish is practically perfect. It doesn't have any bend or flex to it. And I don't really see any flaws apart from the weight. So technically, if everything went according to plan, it should win. But to plan is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Because the real difference is that when plastics fail, they just drop their blades like a lizard drops its tail, essentially becoming harmless. The aluminum, on the other hand, will survive everything, so if it goes out of hand, it could definitely destroy anything that's on its way. One rule for this test: every turbine runs at exactly the same RPM, 21,000. This is way below what I normally push these to, but it's intentional. This is not about max downforce. It is about a fair fight, identical conditions, and the only thing changing is the turbine. Before the pull numbers, a quick weight in, because mass matters here. The nylon is the featherweight at 7.9 grams. PLA is 10 grams. The two resins are 10.4 and 11 grams. And the aluminum, yeah, 18.6. That's what I was talking about. But alright, let's spin them. First, the PLA, called starch, and it spins up beautifully. Just the tiniest vibration at one frequency, which might even be the motor. Up to speed, really healthy, no drama. Now, how do I measure? I first put a heavy box on the scale, then I hit tare to zero it, and from then on, we can actually start testing the turbine. It pulls 370 grams. For context, I normally run this turbine at 30,000 RPM, which is where it makes the famous 1 kilogram. At a fair 21,000, pulling 370 is decent. The nylon, and I genuinely love the sound. Lower pitched and quiet. The soft material and rough surface finish muted. But watch the blades. Even at lower power, they bowed outward. That bowing breaks the seal with the surface underneath, and that gap is exactly where your downforce leaks away. It pulls 305 grams, the lowest here, but it's got bent blades and a very rough surface finish. The lime resin spins, but these are super hard to properly screw on, and a tiny misalignment makes the whole thing vibrate. In my hands, you cannot even see it. My hands soak it up. Touch it to the table though, that stays all the way through the pull, just higher pitched. I did not enjoy holding this one. Part of me thought it might let go. Pulled 318 grams. The red 9000 HE surprised me in a bad way. It is resin. It should be stiff, but it bends like nylon, and it's got this crazy deep vibration, kind of like low bass. With that many red flags at startup, I fully expected this one to grenade on the pull. It did not. 316 grams. And it nearly shook out of my hands, but I held it. I was flabbergasted. Last, the metal. And the shock here is how calm it is. It weighs almost double everything else, so I braced for double the vibration. Instead, it is about as smooth as the PLA, the best behaved of the lot. It pulls 319 grams with an asterisk. For safety, I run a much further off the ground, a big air gap, because if a metal turbine this heavy ever touched the floor, I do not want to talk about what happens next. With that gap, 319 is brilliant. Close it and I'm certain it could do either like 350, 360. On raw performance, the metal one is the one to beat. Before I start blowing these up, quick look at the box I built to do this. 4 walls, acrylic front and back so I can actually film through it, plywood on the sides, and the corners are 8 brackets I designed and 3D printed myself instead of buying them, sized exactly for 12mm wood and 5mm acrylic. It's not bulletproof, but for plastic and resin, it does the job. So let's get to the fun part. Now, the crazy mode. At 4S, fully open, full throttle, the motor spins these up to 44,000 RPM. At that speed, the blade tips are moving at over 500 kilometers per hour. Kinda reminds me of something. And remember, none of these turbines have any form of a retainer ring. My honest prediction, they all break before they even reach top speed. How are we gonna test it? 0 to 100% throttle over 10 seconds. If the turbine lasts past that, it passes. First up, PLA. Every blade snapped at about the same height. But look closer, a lot of these did not break along the layer lines, they broke straight through the middle of the blade. That means that the bond between the layers is as strong as the plastic itself. My print settings are doing a pretty good job. But obviously, PLA has a limit, and we found it. The nylon, however, went even a touch sooner. And because this is MJF, there are no layers, so the break is rough and grainy, not the clean snap the PLA gave. A couple of blades just left stubs. Now the lime resin. Honestly, I thought this one would go first. I mean, it's resin, it's brittle. Instead, watch the blades. They are flexing 2-3 millimeters, bending way out under the force. I'm just waiting for it to explode, and it doesn't. It rode it all the way to the max RPM and held. And the second the motor stops, it springs back to its original shape. I genuinely did not see that coming. Then the 9000 HE. Similar story, but more. Actually, let's pause here. I personally don't believe my eyes. Do you? You can let me know in the comments. I was certain at least the paint would crack. But it didn't. It actually came back looking factory new. Let that sink in. My best material, PLA, with my best print settings, failed. And the resin didn't even flinch. Keep in mind that the paint in this scenario isn't helping at all. It is actually doing the opposite. Let's be honest, paint doesn't really improve the strength of this part. The only thing it actually does is it adds weight exactly at the blades, which makes the centrifugal forces even stronger. Time for autopsy. Remember what I predicted? That the resin would shatter? Wasn't quite the case. Nylon and resin kind of swapped places because the nylon bent and then shattered into a million pieces, and the resin bent and stayed there for quite some time. PLA clean breaks at one height, most of them straight through the blade. Nylon rough and there's a bit of blades left, and the resin's still in one piece. So who wins? I was all set to crown the PLA. It pulled the most, is the cheapest, and is the one you all can make at home. But I cannot ignore what just happened. I tried to destroy these resins, and I couldn't. So the winner is the red one. It bent harder than anything else in this test, and yet still came back factory new, paint and everything. And let's be honest, it's gorgeous. If you want the most accessible turbine that still works, go for PLA. If you want one that's almost indestructible, go for some engineering resin. And you might be wondering, what happened to the metal turbine? Well, a metal turbine at 43,000 RPM at home is not the best idea. While other turbines just turn into shrapnel, this one turns everything around it into shrapnel. But it's not over. If you want to see the metal turbine tested, like the video and comment metal. If we get 500 likes, I'll run it. And those clean PLA prints, it's all in the print settings I spent ages dialing in. They are free in my Discord, links in the description. And quick thing before you go, I'm putting together a full course on how to build this from scratch. This video plus much more. If that's something you'd want, links in the description. Drop your email and you'll be the first one to know when it actually drops. Same turbine, 5 completely different ways to make it. And the one I thought would shatter first, shattered my mind, bro. Like, damn, these resins are impressive.